everyone, this is Jana N Nagase from your Jana On Camera, and today I have the pleasure to be talking to Brazilian director Marcus Baldini from the Hijack of Flight 375, who's be showing this week at LABRFF, the Los Angeles Brazilian Film Festival. How are you doing today, Marcus?
I'm fine, thank you. Nice talking to you.
Yes, thank you so much for your time. A pleasure to be talking to a Brazilian. Yay! Always rooting for the Brazilians here in Hollywood.
Great to hear. Great to hear.
Yes, so let's start from the beginning. What was about the script from Lusa Silvestre that got your attention?
Yeah, actually, the script is written by Lusa Silvestre and Michael Albuquerque. There are two script writers. And the idea of the movie started with the producer, who is Jana N, a Brazilian producer that invited me to jump into the project. And as soon as I got in touch with the fact, I didn't remember that at the time. So I didn't remember there was a hijacking in Brazil in 1988. That's something very unusual for the world, of course. After 9/11, it's more, somehow people are more used to the idea. I don't know if I can say that, but they got in touch with that idea. I didn't know about it. I remember a lot about the political environment at the time, the social forces there. I remember things after the dictatorship the democracy were beginning in Brazil. And when Joana invited me and I saw Lusa's script, which at the time was written only by Lusa, because the first script written by Lusa and then Mikhail entered the project. The first thing that I thought, wow, that's a challenge. That's a huge challenge to do something like that in Brazil, because of course we don't have hijacking movies in Brazil. Our budgets are, it's probably a surprise. Everybody gets surprised when I say, oh, there's about a hijacking. There's a jet that is going after the Boeing and all the things that involves. But I was strongly connected to the idea of making a movie that was an action thriller, but also could say something about Brazil in 1988. I mean, talking about making a movie that could be very special to the audiences in US or Brazil, but also talk about that Brazil of the time. I mean, there are a lot of decisions in the movie that are made, that should be made, and they are made regarding all the political environment, what were people doing and going through at the time. So that idea of making a thriller and with a political side and everything, so that's a very special project to jump in, and a challenge that I would love to have to try.
Yes, no, it's amazing. I watched the movie. I was like, there's some scenes that was but we're gonna be talking about that. Before, I want to talk about the cast.
Sure.
And how was this process to cast the perfect pilot and the perfect guy that hijacked the plane? Is Danilo and Jorge.
Well, Jana, I'm very proud of the cast in this movie, because people usually don't think about which other movies could be made in a history. But when we're starting a project, you think, well, which side should I go? Should I go to this side or that side? And regarding the casting, that's the first, and for me, with the script, the most important decision in the movie. Because if you have a good cast, a nice casting, a very talented casting and actors, and a good script, so that's something very powerful for you to work as a director and try to potentialize the story. So the thing here was that I usually say that there's a moment where the actors meet the character, and those two parts got together, and then they become another thing, And I think that Danilo, Jorge, and Roberta Gualda, who is the flight controller, who are the main three characters in the movie. I think Danilo is the main character. Jorge could be a side actor, but it's very important, and Gualda, a female side actor too. But the thing is that I really wanted some actors that could give me more layers of drama, instead of being only that thing of the bad guy and the good guy, and the bad guy is hijacking the plane, the good guy is trying to save people. So that manichaeism that you see in a lot of production and you see a lot of movies, I thought, well, I must do something that has different layers and is more deep in terms of the characters. So that's what guided me to Danilo, who is a great actor. He hasn't done. I don't remember him in a main in a such a powerful main character as the pilot. And he has something that is Danilo is a kind of mysterious face. He's not a how do I say? He's not the typical handsome man in terms of the pilot of the 80s or something. And I said, well, that guy can give me some perspective in terms of this character, that some empathy with the, of course, not justifying because it's terrible and there's no positive perspective for hijacking a plane and kill a lot of people, but he can connect to that guy in a more sensitive way. I think he can be the hero as well as he can be also fragile somehow. So he has a very special voice. He's powerful and he's mysterious. So Danilo was great because of that. Jorge came to me as a very strong-willed person. He said, this character is mine, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna show you, and that was him. And
they look alike. They look alike.
Yeah, they look a lot alike. Right? The real hijacker, right?
Yeah, the hijacker. When you see the end of the movie, there is the like an article and a newscast, and then you see a photo.
Yeah, true.
I'm like, oh my God, he look alike him.
Yeah. Incredible. And that was something because, well, of course, it's important that you're searching someone that look like the real person. That's an issue to me because I'm always thinking about, I'm not copying exactly, but once those two things get together, I mean, he's a great actor. He has the power of the character. He's strong in terms of motivated to do it, and also he look alike. So that was great. And Walda is a great actress who is the third, I think, the triangle, the main triangle in terms of characters at the movie. She's a great actress in Brazil. I love her. She has done The King of TV, who is in Hulu here in the US. It's about Silvio Santos' life. It's a series for Hulu, for Disney and Hulu. And she worked with me there, surprised me a lot. And then when I say, well, I got a female strong character, and I said, oh, that's hers for sure. And she's great at the movie. I love her.
Yeah, the whole cast. And also the characterization of the set, like the VARIC plane, the VASP planes, the airport, the hair, everything, the way that the flight attendant like portray what happened is like it's amazing. What was like for you, like to bring the 80s look and feel of the era? Was a challenge? Was great? Tell me a little bit about it.
The challenge, because, well, first of all, we had to look, we're looking for an airplane. We didn't know how we were going to shoot. I mean, here in Hollywood is very different because there is Air Hollywood. We were talking about the president of Air Hollywood that Joanna, my producer, got in touch with, and he said, oh, which plane do you need? We need a 737, a 767. We have this one. And he showed me like, oh, we have that truck, and the truck gets to the set and open the doors. We can put camera here, then open. We have the lights on and everything. Come on, that's incredible. We didn't have that in Brazil. So we started searching for airplanes that, what are we going to do? We're going to shoot in a real plane or not? So that was the first main production decision that we had to take, because, I mean, we didn't thought about building an airplane. What actually that end up happening, but we didn't thought about that, about shooting in a plane, just constructing a plane and bringing that to the studio. That was crazy. But, and also that's some regarding the props and the art direction and the wardrobe and everything. So it was very special. I mean, I've been raised in the 80s, so there's also a thing, and it's funny because I had done this series I'm talking to you, The King of TV, was also in the 80s. It started the main career, the main part of the Silvio Santos career was in the 80s. So I jumped from one project to another talking about the 80s, but it's very special because it has something that, it's a time that things were different. You didn't have cell phones, you didn't have the X-ray regarding the security of the airports, taking care of everything. So everything is different. So and that was very special. That was something that the art direction they did in such a beautiful and special way. And I think that that flavor of the 80s is very present in the objects and the way people behave and in the details of the movie.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. There's some scenes like especially when hijack, he start like everything's start happening, and then we have the action, like the turn of the airplane.
Yeah, it's called
That scene was amazing. I don't know what the name that in English, not even if I
Tuno,
can
tuno.
remember.
I think it's a French term, but it's called tuno, tuno.
To know.
It's not a Brazilian word. It's for the whole aviation say tuno. Let's make a tuno.
He did. I don't know if it was he. I know that he talked about that when that happened, but some people say that is like impossible to do that. But
We do.
recreating that scene, how was that for you? Like, because as a viewer, I felt sick. You know what I mean? So
That's good to hear. Well, actually, as I told you, we don't have that structure, that ready structure in Brazil. So I started researching a lot of making of movies of American movies or Korean movies and everything. And the thing here is the way things are done here in the US. The guy is there with the joystick in a hydraulic thing. They say, okay, let's make the shake. Let's shake the airplane. And he does like it, and then okay, come on, that's a dream, but we don't have that. So we had to do that in Brazil with the same quality. That's the challenge because, of course, I mean, we're talking about a $3.5 million budget in terms of action thriller hijacking movie. It's almost nothing for. I think it's a very low budget for US, and for Brazil, it's a huge budget. So and also when people get to the theaters in Brazil, they won't think about, oh, this is a Brazilian movie, so it can be worse. There's not that point. People wanted to see something that is really good, and the pattern, of course, is the American movie. So we end up doing something that we had like three planes. We had three airplanes. We had the cockpit separate from the cabin, which was there was a long one and a short one. So the short one we rolled it like
yeah, like
we have some Instagram videos showing that, excluding my Instagram, but it had some like a ring around it, and then we didn't have that joystick, but we had people who could roll it. Come on, roll it! And we roll it.
action.
Action! And so the passengers were really great. We tried to work with actors, not only extras. So we did a whole preparation of the team who was going to be inside the airplane, like mixing. Of course, there are some extras, but most of them accepted the challenge of being of having a care that's completely different because the whole group of passengers has a kind of organic way of behaving. So people already know their characters, and it was very special. There's a great partner of mine who's called Emilio Di Mello, who prepares the talent and worked a lot on, and we shot a lot of things with the airplane. Stopped only doing choreography with shake the camera from one side and people to the other side. And then when I did, I said, "Oh, that's working! I can't believe it," because I thought it would not. So it was great. It was really a very good experience because every time everybody were so excited in terms of feeling that things were going really well, and the result, the outcoming was really amazing. So that was exciting.
Yeah, but that scene we need to salute the editor because that scene came, you know, because he put together all the the little pieces. So the editing was great in that scene. It's amazing. It's amazing. The whole movie, but that scene specifically was amazing. It was really, really good.
Yeah, there are two editors in the movie. One is Lucas Gonzaga, and the other is Gustavo Vasconcelos, who we worked with really hard, and they did a great job. That's true.
Yeah, and I know like everything is a challenge. But what did you learn about yourself, like directing this movie?
You know, this is one of the movies that I suffered less shooting.
Okay.
I usually suffer a lot. I think, oh, it must be better or something. And this was one of the movies that this movie I thought, well, let's enjoy it. Let's make such in a way that you can enjoy the shooting and everything, trying to solve the problem the way you can. I believe that the outcome is going to be good. So somehow I learned, first of all, I found out that I love doing action thriller. I love doing action. That was very exciting and very nice to do. When you have a mix of things that you like in terms of drama and also interesting action scenes, that the one you said, that's a very special project for me, and that's something that I'm going after right now. I'm looking for projects in that sense, so in that genre and everything. I learned a lot of enjoying the shooting and enjoying everything and believing that things gonna be nice and good, instead of being like always saying, oh, that's not going to, like that dark gray cloud, say, oh, I need to be very worried every time. So let's enjoy it. So it's an enjoyable process. That's something that I will take to my next projects.
Yes, and now the movie is gonna be showing at LABRFF.
Yeah.
How excited are you to be showing to the Brazilians, not just the Brazilians, to the US public?
Yeah, we're launching the film in Brazil in December. It's a very special date for Brazil. It's vacation in Brazil. So Brazil is in a moment that we are kind of rescuing our audience, because we had 4 years of a very, terrible president who considered the movie makers and the artists as enemies. So we got a lot of projects that were not able to be released because they don't have their funds or their money, or even the operational part of economic part was completely, how can I say, it didn't let things happen, in terms of making everything difficult for people to do art in Brazil. So we are kind of rescuing our audience. I'm very excited for that. This can be something that the audience can connect and can go to the theaters. The theaters in Brazil are back to the numbers before the pandemic. That's nice to hear. So we need to now to rescue the audience who likes Brazilian movies to go there. So I hope people like to see it. It's very special for me to present the movie in the US. I mean, I'm in the US. I would love to do something here. And I think this movie has a charming Brazilian way. And at the same time, it has a thrilling and action that makes sense to the way American people like. It's likable in terms of the action thriller, but also has a charming Brazilian way. So it's very interesting to be in LA and to present the movie here and see both American and Brazilian, how they're going to see and how they're going to receive the movie. It's a very special moment.
Yeah, the movie has a really good potential, and I really enjoy watching. And I think it's an amazing story that you bring into us, to the, not just for the Brazilians, but to the world in general. Marcus, I want to thank you so much for your time. A pleasure to me too. We're going to see each other soon in person. Muito obrigada. Muito sucesso, prazer. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jana. Nice talking to you.
Yes.
Hope everybody goes to the LABRFF and who can watch the movie in Brazil or in the US.
Exactly.
Great.
Agora eu vou parar aqui, aí a gente dá um tchau. If you like this video, don't forget to comment, to like and subscribe to our channel right here.